I think if you're fortunate enough to get, such an iconic role in your career, it's wonderful that it lasts with people because that means it really made an impact. And I feel blessed that I was able to.
The Russians, they took Jaden.
Why would they take Jaden?
It was a setup. I'm coming to save you.
A true vigilante.
You made it personal. What you saw today was just a taste.
Kristanna, you were going to say something.
No, I was just saying hello, Jim. Nice to
Oh,
meet you.
hi.
I actually feel like, have we met before?
Maybe on a red carpet. I don't think we spoke before in interview wise, but
Well,
potentially on
you
the
look
carpet.
familiar to me. So
Well, that's a
nice.
good thing.
Yes, indeed. I like your logo there in the
Oh, the
background. Very
neon. Yeah,
cool.
it's one of the best Amazon purchases I made. So
Awesome.
it stayed. Been a long time fan of yours. So if we haven't bumped into each other, this is great. Because it's a bucket list item. So there you go.
Yay, I'm so glad. That's great.
Yes. Been obviously, I can't believe how long you've been doing this. I think you started in like 94. It's wild because you look
It's
like
great.
you're, 28, obviously. So,
Thank
I don't know
you.
how the math goes, but you've been doing this for a while. I didn't even
I
realize it.
started very young. It is true.
Yeah, it's been a long career. And throughout this career, was this the first time you worked with Jean-Claude?
It is. Yes, it is. Yep.
Interesting. You've worked with so many actors. What is he like? I'm curious. Like, what is he like on set and off set?
He's great. And actually he's not very different on set or offset. He's pretty much what you see, what you get. He's really kind. He's got a very kind heart, and soul. And I think you really see a lot of that shine through in his performance. And you see that in this film. You see a softer, more vulnerable side of JCVD, as you did in his self-named film a few years back, which was my personal favorite of his. And he brings that side of him again in Darkness of Man. And my character, Claire, really helps support him on that emotional journey.
Yeah. And it's like he's sort of a father figure here, taking care of a kid and all that. And I like this role for you too. You you always seem to be like in action and like action movies too, but also doing a lot of physical stuff. Here it's a little more kind of a grounded thing for you, I feel like. And it was nice.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I met James Cullen Bressack,
Mhm.
the writer, director, producer, through a mutual friend that I'd worked with, another producer. And I read the script and I really liked it. And I helped James then develop and flesh out and really deepen the emotional life of Claire and Russell Hatch.
Mhm.
Because for me, it's really important, no matter what the subject matter of the film is, to feel for the characters, because I feel like if you don't feel for them, I'm checked out of the movie as a viewer. So I really
Uh-huh.
wanted to make sure that the viewers could really relate to them in some way.
That's so cool and interesting that you and James had that sort of that it's sort of working on a character's things. That's not always a possibility. You sometimes get a character and you got to make something of it, but this whole kind of collaboration on it, that's really cool too, that you had sort of your side and point of view, and he was willing, to kind of working with that. I find that really kind of cool, and sure it was for you as an actor too.
Yeah, James is excuse me, very collaborative, and we really get along well. He's become a dear friend of mine, and so in that development process, it was very rewarding. And you're right. I mean, sometimes it's cut and dry. You get
Mhm.
what you get. And sometimes you have an opportunity of really, working with someone who's open to suggestion and who wants to collaborate. So that was very nice.
Yeah, that's really cool. like I said, I've seen a lot of your work over the years, and I'm wondering, do you like sort of you're always in a lot of thrillers and action sort of movies. Is there a time where you're like, you're going to be a love interest and it's going to be a romantic comedy, or are you longing for something like that at some point? Or are you just really comfortable in this space that you've been really good at for so long?
Well, thank you very much. I have done comedy as well, and definitely will probably do more comedy. Ironically, we're having a Boy Meets World reunion coming up.
Very nice.
And again, reprise my role on Girl Meets World, the show that they then brought back.
Hmm.
Um, and I have three other films coming out later this year. One that my company Trio Entertainment also produced, in which I star with a great ensemble cast. That's a dramedy. There are comedic elements to it as well. And that's called Vice and Virtue. And then I have a film which is a drama, my survival film to the likes of 127 Hours.
Oh, wow.
Martin Cove plays my dad, and that's called Dark Night of the Soul. That'll also be out later this year. And then there's a film called No Address, which underscores the homeless crisis that we currently have in the United States. So that film, I play the wife of Billy Baldwin. That one's a drama, who's basically just a few steps away from going homeless themselves. So a little something for everybody. So yeah, I do mix it up.
You're mixing it up for sure. Wow, a lot on tap too, which is great. You know that you're working, and you said you had a production company too. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. How long have you had that or been part of it?
Well, it's been in development for a few years now, and Vice and Virtue is our first feature of many others. I mean, we've
Nice.
invested in some other films as well, but this is really our baby, so to speak.
Is it different for you, you being so much on screen with the modeling and acting, but now sort of being behind the scenes and being part of the creative process of putting together a film and all that? How's that been for you?
It's great because, I think oftentimes as an actor, you go in and you have your one job, which is rewarding, of course, in and of itself. Acting is my number one passion. But then you say, I'd like to have a hand in, who do I cast for the other roles? And what is the overall tone and feel of the movie? And what about the score? And, so I think if you're in the business long enough, you want to be able to develop it out further, rather than just kind of being a gun for hire, so to speak. So
Yeah, it's a kind of a full circle moment, you know? And you've
it
been
is.
around so long, so you over the years you learn about these different roles behind the scenes and all that, the teams that take to make a movie. So it's kind of interesting. You're also kind of applying your experience of all these years too, that you
It's
learned on it.
true. It's true. My next foray is directing. I'd like
There
to
you
direct.
go. I
So
think that seems like a natural arc for you.
why not? Exactly.
Very well. Hey, you're aging like fine wine, and you're getting even more creative in the
Uh,
process as is.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Yeah, I mean, I think in life as an artist, the more life experience you have, the better artistry you have, the more you have to bring to the table. So
No question. Looking back, it's crazy how uh does it always I'm guessing whenever you're on the street, do you always get reminded of Terminator? Like, does it ever get tiring? I'm just kind of curious because it's such an iconic sort of franchise and role, and you in that red dress. Like, I remember this embedded in my head, that
yeah.
red outfit. But is it fun memories to kind of look back as the years kind of go on too?
Of course, I think if you're fortunate enough to get, such an iconic role in your career, it's wonderful that it lasts with people because that means it really made an impact. And I feel blessed that I was able to portray TX in Terminator 3, and I'm so glad that so many people enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember being a teenager at the theater seeing that. It was so like
That's
you know,
great.
on a
I
big
love it.
screen. Yeah, it stays with you, you know, over all these years. As I wrap here, I'm kind of curious. Like I have seen your life on screen, but I'm kind of wondering what is it like off screen? You work a lot, which is great, and you're doing a lot of different things in the industry. But what sort of things you like to do for fun or like hobbies and interests outside of the industry? You know, to kind of keep you sane and maybe
Oh
clear
yeah,
your mind.
gotta have that. No,
Gotta
it's a
have
great
that.
question. Well, I'm a real outdoors person.
Hmm.
I love to ski. I love to hike. I do open ocean swimming. I
Wow.
horseback ride. So I guess you could say a bit of an adventurer. I like to do multi-day hikes. So yeah, the outdoors is my playground for sure.
That's a great like getaway. I mean, from all the lights and you know sets and stuff, I think that's the best thing to just go in nature and to be able to enjoy it and do all that open water swimming. Wow, you won't get me convinced for that. I'd be thinking of sharks or something. You
Not
know?
for everybody, but
Yeah,
yeah, no, I think being in the elements,
yeah.
there's a presence to it that just really keeps you in the moment and grounded and just the awesomeness of nature. So yeah, I
And be
love
able
that.
to sort of push yourself. You said multi-day hikes and all that. That stuff is endurance too, and mental
Sure.
stamina too. So that's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a huge component there, and I think you kind of nailed it with that. I like to have a good challenge,
Uh-huh.
whether it's physical, mental, emotional, and that really, yeah, just tests yourself as well.
And it makes complete sense. You're doing a survival film too now that you said that.
Exactly, exactly. No, I love that kind of stuff. I mean, those are
Yeah.
the types of films that I enjoy as well. It's like, we're in a human body, but what does it take to push ourselves to the limit? And I think as an artist, I like to find roles like that too, because that's when you really dig deep.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see all those titles you mentioned and what's next for you. So I'll be following as always. And this was great to get a chance to talk to you. And if we haven't met, we officially have right now. So that's
Now we have, now we have. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. You've got a great smile.
oh, thank you. I'll take that. It's all natural too, and like nothing fake here. So I'll take that. In a world of people getting veneers and everything, I embrace my 38-year-old self.
There you go. There you go. Well, you should.
Thank you so much, Kristanna. I'll take that to the bank, that compliment, and hope we catch up soon again.
Sounds good. Take care. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye.